The Mp5 series of submachine guns is among the most popular of any weapon in the world, especially among counter-terrorist and special operations units. It has appeared in films, television, and many of our favorite video games. In the real world, MP5s have never actually been deployed in battle on a large scale. Instead, this SMG has created a niche role for itself that makes it a perfect fit for clandestine operations. It's a secretive gun, and many of the organizations or units that carry it aren't the type you'd see on TV. Even so, it has left a considerable impact on popular culture and is one of the more uniquely identifiable weapons in gaming, and has become attached to counterterrorism because of games like Rainbow Six, Call of Duty, and CSGO. The MP5 was originally known as the HK54 and was developed as part of a series of weapons that were based on German weapons designer Heckler & Koch's G3. The G3 had a number of variants that were used for certain situations. One of the designs was the HK54, which used a roller-delayed blowback action and fired a 9x19mm cartridge. Work on the MP5 began in 1964, and within 2 years it was in service. The HK54 became known as the Mp5 A1, and the gun was known for its accuracy, aided by free-floating hammer-forged barrel, closed bolt operating system, and its front hooded post sight, which easily outclassed its SMG contemporaries. Other models like the A2, A3, and A4 were also developed, but were mostly similar in design, aside from different stocks that were used for particular situations. Another variant is the Mp5 Sd, which includes a suppressor whenever it's time to get sneaky beaky. This is the Mp5 you use in CSGO. The Mp5 traditionally comes with a flash suppressor, but it can be outfitted with a number of accessories, including grenade launchers, suppressors, optics, foregrips, and nearly anything else that you've used to customize one of these virtually. The Mp5 and all of its variants were used in covert ops and were carried by police units throughout the latter part of the 60s and 70s, but it garnered national attention when it was used by the British SAS in the Iranian embassy siege of 1980. 6 members of the KSA group campaigning for Arab national sovereignty took 26 people hostage, including a police officer who had been guarding the embassy, and they demanded the release of Arab prisoners from prisons in Khuzestan and their own safe passage out of the UK. The Iron Lady herself, Margaret Thatcher, refused to cooperate with terrorists, and a 6-day standoff ensued. During this course of events, police negotiators secured the release of 5 hostages in exchange for minor concessions, such as the broadcasting of the hostage-takers' demands on British television. On the 6th day of the siege, the terrorists killed one of the hostages and threw his body out as proof of their deed. The British government retaliated by sending in SAS Special Forces to execute Operation Nimrod.
The explosion ripped through the building. A pall of smoke covering the front of it. The SAS had moved in.
The British soldiers rappelled from the roof of the building, entered through the windows, rescued all but 1 of the remaining hostages, and killed 5 of the 6 terrorists. The soldiers later faced accusations of unnecessarily killing 2 of the 5, but an inquest into the deaths eventually cleared the SAS of any wrongdoing. The sole remaining gunman was prosecuted and served 27 years in British prisons. Operation Nimrod was as close to Rainbow Six as you'll find in a real-life situation, and the entire thing was broadcast on live television. The image of the Mp5 was imprinted into public memory of the event, and is one of the key reasons that the gun has always been associated with the good guys. We see this association in several video games as well, including Call of Duty, Counter-Strike, and Rainbow Six. The Mp5 is the first SMG used in Call of Duty 4's campaign, and it's possibly the most memorable weapon in the game. It can be found and used in several missions, including Blackout, Hunted, Safe House, One Shot, One Kill, The Sins of the Father, No Fighting in the War Room, and Shock and Awe. The SD variant is used in the SAS missions that require more covert tactics. Suffice to say, something about being Soap McTavish involves taking down insurgents with the Mp5, and that image was imprinted onto my mind at an early age. The gun is also quite useful in multiplayer. It's available at level 1 in the default class Spec Ops, and can be equipped with a red dot sight, silencer, or ACOG scope. It is one of the more popular submachine guns in multiplayer because of its low unlock level, relatively controllable recoil, and high damage at close range. The MP5 kills in 3 to 5 shots, and 2 to 4 shots with stopping power equipped. It has very high damage and range for a submachine gun, being a 3-shot kill up to 18 meters and a 5-shot kill at 25 meters. Headshots generally decrease the number of bullets to kill at most ranges by 1. As with all submachine guns, the MP5's high damage at close range drops off very quickly, making it competitive at close range, but inferior to weapons such as assault rifles or snipers at longer distances. COD 4 was a revolutionary multiplayer shooter, and it set the stage for many games that followed it. The MP5 was a very important piece of the legendary game's ability to capture players' imaginations, and because of the game, I'll always associate it with the British SAS. Another game with a memorable representation of the MP5 is Counter-Strike. It was featured in every iteration of the game until Go came out, in which it was replaced by the MP7. However, the Mp5 Sd was recently added to the game in August of last year. Longtime fans of the series were thrilled to see its glorious return. One of the more popular weapons, it has a relatively fast rate of fire compared to the rifles, and while other SMGs are even faster, it is the most accurate SMG along with the UMP45, and has a relatively low recoil, especially when compared to the P90. It's also very versatile on the move due to being lightweight and having a short reload time in Counter-Strike and Condition Zero. Its only major disadvantage is its low damage and low armor penetration. Its effective range is shorter than the UMP, and its spread increases to relatively high levels if fired continuously for long periods of time. For these reasons, the MP5 is very common in early rounds, but is usually replaced by a rifle of choice later in the game. Players on the losing side can afford the MP5 and Kevlar to retain a competitive edge. Interestingly, the H&K Mp5 in the German version of Left 4 Dead 2 is a direct port of the Counter-Strike source version. In the world of Counter-Strike, it's a classic. A discussion of the Mp5 in games wouldn't be complete without Rainbow Six, though. Although the original Mp5 itself does not appear in the Rainbow Six universe, there are several variants of the gun that do. The Mp5 A2, A4, Mp5N, and the Mp5 MLI. The Mp5 family of submachine guns appears to be the standard issue submachine gun of Team Rainbow in the entirety of the franchise. The Mp5 was the standard Rainbow submachine gun in almost every Rainbow Six game to date, except Patriots and Siege. Perhaps the most memorable is its appearance in Rainbow Six Vegas, released in 2006. Almost every advertisement for the game shows this weapon in one of the main character's hands. The Mp5N is available by default in story mode. It has decent stopping power and very manageable recoil. Ammunition is easily found throughout the game, since it's the second most used submachine gun by the terrorist, which is an interesting twist on the type of character we normally see wielding one. The Mp5N is at its best when used in close to mid-range engagements, where its rate of fire makes it a force to be reckoned with. It can also be utilized at longer range, especially when paired with an optical sight, due to its stellar accuracy for an SMG. Without the Mp5, Vegas wouldn't feel the same, and it's just another example of its lasting legacy. As you all know, this series doesn't intend to provide an in-depth look at every game the gun has ever been in because of the staggering amount of titles that have included it. It's also been in Ghost Recon, Hitman, Zombie Defense Squad, Hatred, Recoil, Liberator, Grand Theft Auto, Brick Force, Infestation, Tequila Zombies, Bullet Run, Resident Evil, Rocket Birds, Modern Combat, Metal Gear Solid, Splinter Cell, Deadly Premonition, Stalker, Rogue Warrior, Shadow Complex, Arma, The Conduit, Wheelman, 50 Cent, Blood on the Sand, Secret Service, 007, Far Cry, SAS, Secure Tomorrow, Madness Regent, Combat Arms, Code of Honor, Face Wound, Army of Two, The Club, Zombie Panic, Kane and Lynch, Infernal, Urban Terror, War Rock, Civil Disturbance, Half-Life, Black, Ground Zero, Infected, Operation Flashpoint, Project Reality, Battlefield, SWAT, Combat, Special Forces, Cold Fear, Torn City, Joint Operations, Shadow Ops, Delta Force, The Getaway, Soldiers of Anarchy, US Most Wanted, Soldat, Police Quest, Project IGI, Tomb Raider, Command & Conquer, Die Hard, Tekken Tag Tournament, Alliance, Dead Frontier, and Max Payne. The Mp5 is deserving of its many appearances, and it forced its way into the hearts and minds of gamers, spanning decades, and always providing a good option to take down insurgents. In the last video, I talked about the AK and its association with terrorism. Well, the Mp5 is the exact opposite. This one is for the good guys. So the next time you're in the middle of a hostage rescue or a bomb defusal, don't forget to say thanks to this legendary SMG. I hope you enjoyed this video on Heckler & Koch's masterpiece. If you did, be sure to share it with every gamer you know. If you are interested in more videos on weapons and video games, be sure to recommend one in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and as always, I'll see you guys on the next one.